The April 8th eclipse, apologizing profusely as it crosses the border, enters Canada at 3:12 p.m. for the first time since February 1979. Passing over Canada's southernmost point, the eclipse lasts for 3 minutes and 15 seconds before sweeping across the Great Lakes and reaching the Canadian mainland at 3:13 p.m. The moon, not wanting to disturb hockey games and curling matches, then skirts across southeastern Ontario, passing through towns including Ridgetown, Port Stanley, and Brantford between 3:15 and 3:17 p.m. At 3:18 p.m., totality reaches both the city of Hamilton, of non-musical fame, and the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, of not being in the US fame, darkening the skies for up to 3.5 minutes. The 5 million person city of Toronto, in contrast, finds itself just 5 miles north of the path of totality, experiencing a 99.91% partial eclipse. 240 kilometers, or as the more important country on that day calls it, 150 miles, northeast of Toronto, the city of Kingston sees a much better show, plunging into darkness for 3 minutes. The shadow of the moon then grazes the remainder of southeast Ontario before entering Quebec at 3:25 p.m. Passing through the city of Montreal at 3:27 p.m. and lasting there for up to 2 minutes, over 1 million people within Montreal city limits put down their baguettes and look up from their fondue to see the sky go dark. The eclipse then sweeps through the cities of Sherbrooke and St. George's before making a sortie from Quebec at 3:32 p.m. Simultaneously, totality enters New Brunswick, crossing into the Atlantic time zone and passing through towns like Fredericton, just north of towns like Moncton, and just south of towns like Bathurst between 4:33 and 4:36 p.m. The shadow of the moon then sweeps across the northern tip of Nova Scotia and the western half of Prince Edward Island. Prince Edward, however, doesn't see it, likely because he's been dead 204 years. Continuing through the Bay of St. Lawrence, totality then reaches the island of Newfoundland, too cool for normal roads or an on-the-hour time zone, coming ashore near the town of Codroy Valley at 5:09 p.m. Over the next 7 minutes, totality sweeps across Newfoundland and Labrador, darkening the skies over multiple towns no one has ever heard of, and one town famous for a musical and an airport. The eclipse, now very likely trying to outrun a moose, then leaves Canadian soil at 5:16 p.m. All told, totality sweeps across North America in just 102 minutes, before racing into the North Atlantic at over 5,200 miles an hour. Finally leaving the surface of Earth 1,000 miles due south of Iceland and located far away from any prying eyes, it's fitting that one of the next times totality touches land will be in that part of the world, with the total solar eclipse of August 2026 set to sweep through the Arctic and North Atlantic some 856 days later.